All right, ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant good afternoon. Good afternoon to all our students that are joining us right now for another lesson in the School of Wisdom. I want to just let all of you know what an honor, what a joy it is for me to be able to bring you these lessons on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. It's going to be only for those that are hungry for wisdom. That's hungry for wisdom. They're the ones that's going to stay on the journey. They're the ones that's going to stick with it there. It's on. Yeah. Okay, my wife is asking me how comes she's not hearing. All right, let me ask. I have to quickly ask you, is everything okay? Let me know, please, if you can hear me, because my wife is not hearing me. You might have to go back in and come back. Come out and go back in. Is everything okay? My people there, Troy, is good? All right. So she is hearing me now, and so I'm glad that everything is set. Everybody can hear me. We just came from the airport, people, and just come home. Thank you. Those of you that attend me, all is good. I appreciate that. We just came from the airport. That's why you are seeing me dressed like that, in my jacket and in my ambassadorial pin there. You have to wear that when you are traveling to be able to open up doors for you there. I had the flight attendant, and she was asking me, what is this about? And I was telling her. She said, wow, this is amazing, amazing. So I'm in my jacket, looking like a real professor today as we are getting ready to begin today's lesson. So let me just say a quick hi to some of you: Mary Joseph, Bobby Rafter, Troy King, good afternoon, Ingrid Mason, Kishma D, Elizabeth Valenzuela, waking up early in Japan, and also to Muriel Joseph. I want to greet you, Connie Grant. We say welcome, welcome. And also Bobby Rafter. I did call you already. Wilbert Willis there. Prophet Troy is present. And let him be an example to all of you folks there. He is a pastor, but he's smart, because he wants what his father is dispensing. And all of us should have that same attitude and that same hunger. Love F. Loader, I want to say welcome. Couples Foundation, God bless you. Peter Quemoy, Cracker, Love F. Loader, Where's Wisdom Holele, Marcia Estrada, Victor Nanyo, good to have you there in Japan. Shishi, God bless you. Karen Winston, Teresa Harper, Cheryl Angle, N.G. Grell is with us. There's Wisdom Holele. Been looking for her. Jacqueline Forbes there. Marilyn Bryan, G said what? Joylette Hudson, my daughter over there in Bedford. So good to have you with us there. Romik Enoch, God bless you and thank you for joining us. Barbara Donnerstog, Faith Holele is with us, not just wisdom, but Faith Holele is also with us. Ether Samples want to say welcome. Nicola Hardin Clark, welcome. Yvonne Duncan, Novella Moten, good afternoon. And Cracker, did I call you already? I think I did. Charlene Laws, Brenda Eli, Augustina John Baptist. She said she's read Proverb chapter 11, and what appealed to her was verse 21. Be assured an evil person will not go unpunished. Anybody do you evil, Augustina? All right, that was her takeaway there. Thank you, Love F there. Okay, Romik Enoch, he's watching from Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. I'm going to be coming to Tanzania sometime there too. And Nicola Clark is watching from Guyana. All right, God bless you. Joseph Angola, Jacqueline Jinbrong, and Muriel said it's verse 27. What does verse 27 say, Muriel? Because I don't want to have to be flipping and going from one to the other. If you could just, as a matter of fact, if you just put up the first few words, then I'll be able to tell you there. Ruth Prevo, we say welcome. And Deborah Joseph, Debbie, tell Pastor B happy birthday. I'm going to be calling him in just a while. I just got home. Queen Otsa and Willie Hardeman want to greet all of you as we get ready for today's lesson. And Curtis, good morning. Jacqueline Forbes said it's verse 30 and 31. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and whoever captures souls is wise. We give you an assignment, people, because if you are serious, I believe that you're going to do that. I'm taking this thing so seriously. Some of you don't even know the challenges that I've had. We just came from Trinidad last night. I had some serious challenges. My body was just quaking, stomach pains, fever, headache, lightheadedness. Woke up this morning. As a matter of fact, when I got on the plane, even before the plane took off, because I was up every hour before the plane took off, I just passed out there and just was sleeping. My wife did not wake me up for breakfast or anything like that. So I got a good bit of sleep, and it was looking like, oh my God, would I be able to do the school today? But I'm not letting anything keep me back. I am dedicated, people, to this thing there. I am very, very dedicated to it there. So nothing is going to keep me back from doing this thing there. And I'll say this here. Thank you, Joylet, for your concern there. And because I came home and I would just like just to lie down, just to go find a bed there. But I'm not going to give in to this there. We are going to have a great class today. I believe that, people, with all of my heart. Now, let me share some things with you. I see some of you are putting up your verses that meant a lot to you. I'm not able to go through all of them, but I want to share something with you. This thing about wisdom that we are talking about practical wisdom. People, this is a very powerful thing. Very, very powerful. And I'll tell you what, because I am on this journey for wisdom, I see, thanks Charlene for sharing your verses, I see what it's doing in my life and how it is leading me and saving me from a lot of things. Wisdom, because we're going to get to that. Wisdom says, I want to guide you. I want to guide you in making right decisions. Making decisions, sometimes it would look like on the spur of the moment. Once it's coming from wisdom and not our own emotions, we'll be able to save ourselves a lot of problems. My wife and I, as some of you know, we were going to Trinidad on Thursday. So we are there in the Admiral's Club waiting for our flight. And all of a sudden, the sky just turned black. And they said it was a tornado. And my flight was still saying, we are leaving on time. But wisdom has taught me some things, people, where I am able to tap into wisdom's direction and be able to just do it. And so I realize that whenever there is thunderstorm at the airport shuts down, and it is shut down for quite a while. So I told my wife, I said, honey, I'm going to change our flight to go on Friday. I said, this thing does not look good because they're going to keep, delaying the flight. So I called the desk and I told him, I said, hey, listen, the situation here at the airport is not good. The flight is going to be delayed. I want to change and go tomorrow. And so they said, not a problem. We'll put you for tomorrow, because we were going to overnight in Miami in any case there. And so we call our son to just come and get us. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Our flight that was supposed to leave at 8 o'clock, 8:12 on Thursday night did not leave until 9:15 the next day. So we would not have been able to make our connection. Why am I sharing this with you? Because you remember that. You remember that, Prophet Troy? Oh yes, man. I move quick on those things there, because wisdom speaks to me in those situations there. So here's another one. We are coming from Trinidad this morning, early this morning. And my wife and I, we were saying we would like to get an earlier flight, but thing took so long. Immigration took so long that I told my wife, we're not going to bother. We'll just wait for our flight that's going to leave about 2 o'clock. So I would still be able to get home and to be able to do this program. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Wisdom again. Oh, listen, wisdom will save you from a lot of stressful situations. let me just say this to you. The long and short of it is this. So I told I said, honey, let's go. So I called the desk. I asked them, what about this flight? Because minutes to 12, we were coming into the terminal, and the flight was leaving at 12:03. I told my wife, let's go and check it out and see. So I went quickly. I told them we had first class seats on our original flight, but I said I just want to get home because of how I feel and everything. I just want to be home. And so the young lady said, listen, I don't have any more seats really. The only seats that I have, she said, there's no first class. I only have middle seats. When you want to get home, you will accept that. The point I'm making is this, people. If I did not listen to wisdom and take that step, can I say this to you? We would still be in Miami, because that flight that was supposed to leave at 2 has still not departed from Miami. So they just keep putting it off and off and off. So I'm saying to us, people, when we build a relationship with wisdom, wisdom will tell us when to act. Wisdom will give us inside information. So we will be far ahead of our peers, far ahead of other people, that when they're scampering and so on, wisdom would have already told you what to do. And so I was looking at these things in my life, and my wife was saying, honey, it is really true, thank you. We would still be in Miami. We have people to build that relationship with wisdom, that when we are in situations, wisdom is going to tell us what to do. Today we are going into another aspect of wisdom, and I am looking at it, people, and my goodness, there's some serious things when it comes to wisdom. Because some of us think wisdom is this gentle, nice lady wisdom there and so on there. But let me tell you, she could get rough, people. When people don't want to listen, when people reject her, she said, I'm not messing with you. I'm not wasting my time with you. I'm moving on to the other one. That's right, Brenda Cunningham. That's one of those that I like. Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 25. So let's go into our study today. Proverbs chapter 1, and we are starting from verse 20. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 20. You are going to see another side of wisdom. That, and I think there are only two places. I think it's in Proverbs chapter 29 and Proverbs chapter 1 that I see this side of wisdom there. So let me start it with you there. From verse 20, it says, wisdom praises a song in the streets and celebrated far and wide. But I want you to see the next verse, which is so very true. It says, yet wisdom's song is not always heard in the halls of higher learning. That people can get so intellectual that they become void of wisdom. Because wisdom is not intellect, people. There are some brilliant people, but they say there's no God. You understand what I'm saying? So what does that tell you? They are completely void of wisdom. It says wisdom praises are sung in the streets and celebrated far and wide. You will find wisdom in so many places, in so many situations. It says, yet wisdom's song is not always heard in the halls of higher learning, among government officials, heads of state. Just because they have those positions doesn't mean that they have wisdom. So they lead their nation to war, to chaos and suffering because of a lack of wisdom. So the Bible is saying, yet wisdom is not always heard in the halls of higher learning. Because if they would build that relationship with wisdom, that's why in Proverbs you read about wise kings that rule well, because they have a relationship with wisdom, and their people serve them gladly. They are blessing to their nation. Why you think they love David like that and Solomon there? They were wise kings there. But you don't always find wisdom in the halls of higher learning. I mean, sometimes, I went to a doctor a while ago, and, sometimes some of them believe it's foolish to have faith. Some of you know that very well. You try to tell your doctor, you are believing God. Yeah, we're going to take the medication, but we want you to know we have faith too. And they try to contradict you there because it seems foolish to them. So not every intellectual person has wisdom. Let's go on and see what it says there. It says, yet wisdom's song is not always heard in the halls of higher learning, but in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Where can you find wisdom? In the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Because one of the things I will share with you, and you're going to find that out as we go through this thing, wisdom is not going to force herself on people. If you desire her, and that's why sometimes, even in life, it looks so bad to force yourself on someone who doesn't love you, doesn't want to have a relationship. I've seen some men like that. I've seen some women like that. The people have told them, I don't love you. I'm not interested in a relationship, but they keep going on. They keep doing all kind of things, hoping that the person will change their mind. Wisdom does not operate like that. Wisdom will gravitate to those who have a heart for wisdom, to those who hunger, to those who are thirsty for wisdom. Wisdom will make herself known to them. So here the Bible is saying, ladies and gentlemen, that even in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, you're going to find wisdom there. Let me say this here. Let me say this to us. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you I want you to hear this. I want you to hear what I am going to share with you. It does not matter what situation that you are in. Wisdom, if you have a relationship with wisdom, wisdom is going to show up. Let me share that, and I don't know if that happens to some of you here, and I want you to hear this. Am I frozen? I'm seeing. Okay, I'm back here now. Listen to me. You know when I know I miss wisdom? When I didn't listen to wisdom? When I didn't hold back? When I should have held back? That when I say it, I have this uncomfortable feeling. I don't know how many of you get that. Oh boy, I messed up. Oh boy, I shouldn't have said that. Is there anybody that could identify with that? When wisdom was talking to us and saying, don't go there. Don't say that. But, okay, thank you, Prophet Troy. And you know, we didn't listen. And you just had that rotten feeling there. Oh my goodness. I should have listened to wisdom. Come on, man. So it says in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, we have wisdom there. We've shared that with you in transactions, in various things that we have to do. No matter what it is, wisdom is there. Hear what it says. It says its lyrics can always be heard above the din of the crowd. It's talking about where there's so much noise, commotion, and everything. The Bible is saying, ladies and gentlemen, that wisdom is there in the midst of confusion. So we don't have to be able to say, they made me do that, they provoked me, because wisdom is powerful enough to say to you, do not take that road. Do not go there. So above all the commotion, above all the confusion of the crowd, wisdom is there. I need to go on because I want you to hear that. It says its lyrics can always be above the din of the crowd. You will hear wisdom warning. You will hear wisdom's warning as she preaches courageously to those who would stop and listen. Wisdom. I want you to hear me. Wisdom is not going to stop you. You must be the one. It says to those who would stop and listen. Like what some of you are doing now in this class. You've taken the time to be able to listen to wisdom. And when you do that, wisdom is going to come to you. My God, your life is going to take on a new dimension. You're going to find yourself thinking before you speak, because the Bible says a fool utters everything that is in his inside, but the wise hold it back. It's there in the book of Proverbs there. So let's go ahead there, because I want to finish this there. It says foolish ones. Now this is wisdom speaking there. Foolish ones, how much longer will you cling to your deception? How much longer will you mock wisdom? How many of you can say, I've seen that in the lives of people? They rejected wisdom They disdained wisdom. They trampled wisdom under their feet. They had nothing to do with wisdom. You are going to discover what happens to people when they reject wisdom. That's what I told you. There's a side of wisdom that I'm seeing there that can be frightening. Here's what it says. It says, how much longer will you mock wisdom, you cynical scorners who fight the facts? Come back. Come back. Come back to your senses and be restored to reality. Because let me say this. When we ignore wisdom, we're only hurting ourselves, people. Because wisdom comes to protect you. Wisdom comes to promote you. Wisdom comes to open doors for you. But when you reject wisdom, what's going to happen? Closed doors, broken relationships, missed opportunities, making a fool of yourself because you are so lacking in wisdom. Don't mock wisdom, people. Like Proverbs chapter 7 say, call wisdom your sweetheart and understanding your lover. Because when you read that there, people, you see that's the flip side of it. That's those, oh my God, that those that are crying out for wisdom. That's those that want that relationship with wisdom. And then wisdom says, I will exalt you. I will make your life better. But in chapter 1, when we reject wisdom, listen to what it says. So it says, come back to your senses and be restored to reality. Don't even think about refusing my rebuke. Don't you know that I'm ready to pour out my spirit of wisdom upon you? This is it, people. That wisdom is saying, I'm ready. I'm ready to endow you with wisdom, insight, discernment, understanding. She says, I'm ready, but I can't pour it into a container that is filled with folly. Let's go ahead so we could finish that there. It says, I'm ready to pour out my spirit of wisdom upon you and bring to you the revelation of my words that will make your heart wise. Wisdom says, I'll give you revelation that will make you look good, that will make you look smart. You might not have intellectual achievements, but wisdom says, I'm going to make you look smart. I'm going to put you above all of those people with all of their degrees because you have made that relationship with me. It says, I've called to you over and over. Still you refuse to come to me. I've pleaded with you again and again, yet you've turned a deaf ear to my voice. He says, because you have laughed at my counsel and have insisted on continuing in your stubbornness. This is the side of wisdom that I told you about. Wisdom says, I will laugh when your calamity comes. This is frightening. It says, when you didn't want to listen, when I was trying to save you from the calamity that you are now experiencing, he says, I'm going to laugh because when I was trying to warn you, you were not listening. I wanted to save you, but you were not listening. Listen to what it says. It says, I will laugh when your calamity comes and will turn away from you at the time of your disaster. My God, my God. When you are in those situations, when you need wisdom to get you out of it, wisdom is saying, I will turn from you at the time of your disaster. People, that's dealing with every aspect of our lives, where wisdom wants to give us insight, discernment, understanding to cause us to reign in life, as it says. Let's go on. It says, make a joke of my advice, will you? He says, then I'll make a joke out of you. This is serious. It says, when the storm clouds of terror gather over your head, when dread and distress consume you, and your catastrophe comes like a hurricane. I never see this thing throughout the rest of the book of Proverbs, except in chapter 29, when it says that if you harden your neck, you will be destroyed. When wisdom is trying to reach you. But chapter 1, my God, it starts off with some serious warnings, people. Mary said she can relate to that. Have you seen people, children, that you have tried to give wisdom to give counsel to, and they laughed at you? That, hey, you were old time. You out of touch there. But let me say this to us. Wisdom is never out of touch, people. You hear what I'm saying to you? Wisdom is never out of touch there. And so, they did not listen. They went their own way and made a disaster out of their life. And sometimes some of them, ladies and gentlemen, are so messed up and so ashamed, they don't even want to come back. Because they know that if they had listened to you, that they would not be in that situation. Let's go on, because I want to end this there. It says, when your catastrophe comes like a hurricane, you will cry out to me, but I won't answer. Then it will be too late to expect my help. This is serious, people. So when we read this, we ought to be crying out and saying, oh, wisdom, do not leave me. I want that relationship with you. I want my life to be better. I want to avoid all these things that you are talking about there. What's going to happen to those who reject a relationship with you? He says, because you have turned up your nose at me and closed your eyes to the facts and refused to worship me in awe, because you scoffed at my wise counsel and laughed at my correction. He says, now you will eat the bitter fruit of your own ways. Are we listening, people? Are we listening? He says, you've made your own bed, now lie in it. So how do you like that? I'm reading from the Bible. He says, like an idiot, you've turned away from me and chosen destruction instead. Your self-satisfied smugness will kill you. When we acting like we so wise, we acting like we know it all, and we don't know nothing. Wisdom says, go ahead, keep pretending like that. It will end up killing you. And when we talk about killing you, killing your potential, killing your opportunities, when you think you know it all and you just don't know. It says, but the one, oh, I love the way it ends, because there was just too much judgment in what we were reading. But we wanted you to see that side of wisdom, whether it's in relationships, between husband and wife, parents and children, children and parents. Oh my goodness. It's real, people. It's real. So let me wrap it up and say, and I'm glad it's ending on a good note. Verse 33 says, but the one who always listens to me will live undisturbed in a heavenly peace, free from fear, confident and courageous. Ah, Jesus. That one will rest unafraid and sheltered from the storms of life. You hear that? I need to read this again. It says, but the one who always listens to me will live undisturbed in a heavenly peace, free from fear, confident and courageous. That one will rest unafraid and sheltered from the storms of life. But you heard the verses that went on before: trouble, destruction, oh my God, all of those things. That's for those who reject wisdom. Somebody ought to say, I will welcome wisdom. And one of the things is this: we ought to be open to the correction that wisdom brings to us people. We ought to be open to it there, because if we are not, all of those things that we read above there, that's what our portion is going to be. But my goodness, I got to read this again, people. I got to read this again. I don't know how many of you are receiving something from this day. It says, but the one, that's contrasting the group that was above. Hear me. It says, but the one who always listens to me will live undisturbed in a heavenly peace, free from fear, confident and courageous. That one. Somebody say, I am that one. Can you put that there for me, please? And say, I am that one. I am that one. That one will rest unafraid and sheltered from the storms of life. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the things that happened to my wife and I over the weekend, Thursday. I mean, when there was just so much turmoil, canceled flights, people lining up, trying to change their flight, but wisdom just led me, just call your desk, let them change it for you. Didn't have to go to anybody there. And able to leave the airport while other people are trying to see how they're going to get out, what they're going to do. But the one who always listens to me will live undisturbed in a heavenly place. I am that one. And I want you to say, I am that one. I will listen to wisdom. I will invite wisdom into my life there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our 45 minutes is gone. That's the end of class today. I trust that you have received something from our lesson today. You can go back and read it for yourself again and see all the dangers that's listed there for not listening to wisdom, for rejecting wisdom. May we gravitate to wisdom. Make her our constant companion. When we do that, people, we will see God doing some things amazing in our lives as it relates to wisdom. I pray for you now. I speak the word of the Lord over you. I declare blessings upon you. I say your thirst, your hunger for wisdom will never abate, will never go down, but that you will be so much wiser than your peers there. I bless you with that wisdom today in Jesus' name. Well, folks, God bless you. That's it. Join us tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, my wife and I will be there. And tomorrow afternoon, I will be back there with class. And just by coming on and doing this program, I am already feeling so much better. Let me go eat some mangoes. Mangoes that I brought from Trinidad, and mangoes that somebody sent to me from St. Thomas. So I'm just flowing in mangoes right now. God bless every one of you, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, and God bless you.